Welcome to the show, Issa.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. I wanted you to just give an overview of your show for our listeners who haven't seen it.
Sure. For The Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl?
Yeah.
Awkward Black Girl essentially deals with the title character as she navigates through love, life, and awkward moments. Like, what do you do when you see someone in a hallway multiple times? Do you have to keep saying hi every single time? So, issues like that.
The important stuff.
The important stuff.
The important stuff. I wanted to play a quick clip from the show just to give everybody a flavor of the show. Now, your character on the show is named Jay.
Jay, yes.
And you, this scene is you on a date with your possibly new boyfriend. He's White Jay. And this is the very first date.
Have you been here before?
Oh, no, but the Yelp review is really good. And there's this thing they have here, Aunt Jay's Fried Chicken. Made me think of you.
What am I, the Popeye spokesperson? Fried chicken made him think of me? Fried chicken made you think of me?
No, Jay, not the not the fried chicken. The Jay part. You know, JJ. Dynamite.
Okay, because if you were racist, this day could get awkward. So I'm glad you're not. Whew.
Besides, I can't be racist. I love the blacks. Jay, I'm kidding.
Coming to a first date starving was a mistake. I want to stuff my face like an obese gorilla, but I have to be ladylike. What can I get y'all? I'll have the small vegetable side salad, please. And a side of macaroni and cheese.
And I'll go with the jambalaya.
Okay. Damn, I could really fuck up some jambalaya right now.
That was from The Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl. It's interesting because what the show has felt to me like is just sort of really an extended romantic comedy, you know, as opposed to you've said that you love shows like Parks and Rec and The Office, and it absolutely has that feel as well. But it feels like the heart of it is this romantic quest that she's on.
Yeah, I would definitely say that was season 1, and it actually happened by accident. You know, we really the viewers play a huge role in sort of how the story develops, and even with the character of White Jay, we didn't call him that at all. The character was named Jay, and he was introduced initially to bring some competition to the other love interest, Fred. And actually our producer at the time, because our show was predominantly of color, she said, you know, the best way to get white people to watch it is to cast a white guy. So I was like, oh my God, you are so smart. That makes so much sense. And so we did, and he was supposed to be a one-time character. But as soon as he premiered in that episode, the comment section went, White Jay, yes, please bring him back. Oh my God, I cannot wait. And so that's how he was born. So it was never intended to be this sort of romantic comedy, but it ended up playing out that way.
Yeah. I mean, so many of the show's sort of incredibly sweet moments, and your moments. There's a moment when you're getting ready for a date with him, and you're taking shots, and you're trying to get yourself, you know, psyched up for it.
As you must, yes.
Exactly. I think. What do you think it is about this? You know, you've talked about Curb Your Enthusiasm and The Office. These shows. What do you think it is about these shows that make us cringe, that make us want to watch them?
Because you can identify, you can see yourself in those moments. Like, you cringe because you've been there before and you've done that and you've been guilty of that, and to see that played out in front of you is kind of embarrassing and kind of cringeworthy. So I really like to tap into the everyday, just these mundane situations that everybody's been through, because you can find humor in it.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely have. In fact, the New York Times said of you, with her microscopic focus and loose aesthetic, Ms. Rae is closest to the spirit of Larry David. Ooh. Larry David of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Yeah. How do you feel about that comparison?
That was an honor. I love whoever wrote that article. I will marry him. So
yeah, I mean, it's pretty much an ideal situation, right?
It was definitely, yeah, and that's, I mean, he's definitely a role model, and I just love his sense of humor. So to be compared to that, it's great.
Well, and you said that you created this show because you hadn't seen yourself portrayed on these shows that you loved. Have there been any shows on television that have actually portrayed characters that you really identified with that were Black?
In the 90s, there were so many shows just of color in general. And, you know, you had Living Single, you had Martin, you had Fresh Prince, you had, you know, primetime comedy was just rampant with diverse characters. And now it's like in the 2000s, there was an apocalypse and everybody Black and of color died.
Or just became sassy friends.
Just became sassy, yes, friends, exactly. And so I'm not really the sassy friend, and I don't like sassy people. So like it's kind of hard to identify with that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and you've also said that you're not necessarily sure that network television is right for this show. What do you feel like if the networks took it, what do you think that they would do with it?
I just had an experience with one particular network who, for example, I do play the lead in the show, and they wanted to replace. First of all, they said that in order for a show like this to succeed, Black people needed to see familiar faces because we don't like to see anything that we don't recognize. So, really smart man.
There's probably a lot of research behind that.
Yeah, it was a lot of research, I'm sure. And then he wanted to replace me as the lead and cast a fair-skinned video girl, which was just completely not awkward.
And you are the creator and the writer and the director and the producer of this show. That must have not bothered you at all.
I mean, it was expected, I guess. But it was, that just really made me realize that I was in the right spot online. And, you know, I don't think that I'm not really necessarily pressed to be on network television because there are so many more opportunities building online. And I feel like the two mediums are fusing anyway.
Well, and it's absolutely a way to obviously own your own material and not have to answer to anyone. But it does sound like you're answering to the internet a little bit. And I read that you read every YouTube comment. Why do you do that to yourself?
I can't help it. Like, I'm a glutton for punishment, and some of the YouTube comments are actually insightful, like the ones that aren't racist and stupid and, you know, the people who don't think they know everything. Some of them, like, give great constructive criticism. Like, even with the clip, like, the sound was a little weird, right? And it was like, some YouTube commenters will be like, hey, you know, I really love the show, but the sound is really off. Can you, like, try to improve it? And, you know, I don't want to punch them in the face. I want to, like, improve the sound. Yeah. And, like, even with one of our characters, they would say, oh, I really want to like this character, but he needs to be developed a little bit more. And so comments like that are great because they actually help you as an artist, whereas, you know, other comments, not so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. The ones that tell you to die in a fire, it just feels like, that is not constructive.
I don't need that in my life, but I still like to read it. You're an original lady, is all I can say.
I read that your mother actually wanted to be a director, and she's sort of living through you on this. Has she given you any advice?
Just to cast her in the show. She always tries to, like, sneak moments, like, so when are you gonna need an older woman in your show? And I say never, even though, but she hasn't given me advice. She's very, very supportive and very, very proud.
You know what? Just for her, I'm going to go to the YouTube comments and say that you're ageist. And then you're going to have her on, so.
And I will read it, thank you.
Yeah. Just one question before you go. So if Awkward Black Girl has over 12 million fans, can you really call yourself awkward anymore?
No, that makes you more awkward. Are you kidding me? When I run into people on the street and they expect me to be awkward, do you know how that feels?
Yeah, do something awkward.
Yeah, right? Oh my God, you're so awkward standing there looking at me. Like, yeah, I am now. Thank you.
Well, and you've talked about a web series that you're working on called The Michelle Obama Diaries. Is that coming, or?
Yes, we are working on that. It's very hard, I must say, because we've gone through several drafts, and the First Lady is just so likable. We don't want to, like, disrespect her, and I don't ever want to be the reason that people hate her, if that makes any sense.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, but I mean, I have to say it would be difficult because I think she's more popular than her husband. You know, at this point, people adore her.
I know it's hard.
Yeah,
It's hard. So it's coming soon, provided that we get it right.
Well, and you have a channel on YouTube. The show is called The Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl, and just go to YouTube. You can do a search on it, and you can find her show. The creator is Issa Rae. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.